Welcome back to this class today for direct and indirect speech. There are two ways as to how we can represent somebody's saying. One is the direct way, the other one is the indirect way. So let's see this. Direct and indirect. When we talk about the direct, this is its reporting speech in form, and this is reported speech. Reported speech in form. This is reporting, this is reported. Here, the exact words spoken by the speaker is always within the frame of inverted commas. Whereas, we don't use inverted comma, just a full stop. This is the first simple thing about direct and indirect speech. Now, what is this reporting speech and what is this reported speech? Let's be very, very clear about this. So, it means the main clause of the direct speech, the main clause of the direct speech is known as reporting speech. The main clause of the direct speech, and this is the subordinate clause. The subordinate clause, here it is the main clause and here it is the subordinate clause. The subordinate clause is known as reported speech. This is the major difference between the direct and the indirect speech. So, before we jump into how to change a sentence from direct to indirect, we have to know this flow chart. This is pronoun flow chart. Like the chart represents the subjective form, objective pronoun, possessive and self forms, because these are the essential requisites to change from direct to indirect, and without the knowledge of this, it's not very easy for us to change from direct to indirect. Now, as we know that we have three persons: first person, second person, third person, and they each have a singular form and plural form. Singular, plural, singular, plural. So you can see here in the subjective case, if it is I, then in the objective it becomes me, and in the possessive it becomes my or mine, and in the self form, myself. So according to this, you can go through this and you can understand it so that it will be easier and comfortable for you to change from direct to indirect. And this is what we call it as narration also. So please see through this. I hope you are clear now. This one is themselves. So, there is always a question in the mind how to change a direct speech to the indirect form, to its indirect form. So basically, let's talk about three ways. There could be one or two more, I'll tell you in my later videos. But in this video, let's talk about three major ways. Number one, change of persons. That's why I was in my earlier slide talking to you about the pronouns, the pronouns there. And now this number 2, change of tenses. Tenses, they play a very active role here. And there are other changes which I'll be referring to you in my other videos. So today, in today's video, we will basically discuss about the change of the persons only. And I request you to see my upcoming videos to see through the change of tenses and other changes in other videos. So let's start now. Let's see here. A sentence is there. This is the direct speech sentence. He said to me. Inverted comma starts. There is a comma. My father will see your uncle in his office. Inverted comma close. The indirect of this would be, he told me that his father would see my uncle in his office. Now how this has been done? Let's see it very slowly. First of all, let's try to indicate what is what. For example, he is the subject here. He is the subject. Then comes next me. If he is the subject, me becomes object. Object. Now there is a first person here, that is mine. First person. Okay? This is first person. Because this person is talking, so he becomes first person. And he's talked to somebody else, that person becomes second person. Second person. Why I am mentioning this is because these are the things we are going to interchange here. Second person. Still there is someone, and this is third person. So this is third person. Now we are clear with the things here. Who is first person, who is second person, who is third person, what is subject and what is object. Now we change it. We change it. How? Let's see. He told me that. Okay. He told me that his. This came from somewhere. Let's see. He told me that his. His has been changed. Why it has been changed, I'll tell you later on. His brother would meet my brother in his house. This is another change I have made. In his house. So what does this imply to us? What does it make us understand? It means that mine is the first person there. Mine is the first person, and it changes to his according to the subject he. It changes to his according to the subject he. So this is the rule of change in person. Another thing is there. So your is the second person. Your is the second person. Please see here. Your is the second person, and it changes to mine. Your changes to mine. See. Your changes to mine according to the object me. According to the object me. This is the object. So second person is in relation to your, mine, me. How we have brought the changes here. Now next, his is the third person. His is the third person. His is the third person. It remains to his. It does not change. So my father will see your uncle in his office. This is the third person, and it does not change here. So the rule says now third person remains same. Third person remains same. So now it's clear that when we are bringing the changes in the persons, let's see that my is the first person there. Okay, my is the first person. It changes to his according to the subject he. According to the subject he is here. So let's not forget that we can change second person also, but there cannot be a change in the third person. It remains the same. So this is how we can discuss about change in persons. So finally, before I close up for today, I'd like to conclude by revising these 3 points in clear. Number 1, first person changes according to the subject of the reporting clause. Like we practiced in our earlier slide with a sentence, there my was the first person and it got changed to his according to the subject he. So if you can go back, you see that my was there as the first person and then it changed to his. It changed to his because the subject was he. Let's please go back and see and you'll understand it. Okay. Number 2, second person changes according to the object of the reporting clause. Like in my previous slide, what you saw was your was the second person. Your as the second person. Okay, what happened to your? It changed to my. It changed to my as the second person. According to the object, me was there. He said to me, object was me. So this was the object. This is the subject. So let's be very clear. And the final one, third person does not change. His. In the sentence we had his. In his office. So the third person does not change. So his remains his. His remains his. These 3 things, if we can remember, fine. Then change in persons can easily be done and we will not get any confusions. So thank you for today, and in my next video I will be coming up with what other changes are needed to form from direct to indirect. Please keep watching.